Rest in peace. Rest in peace.
Hope y'all enjoying the tunes. I know they are loud. I am turning stuff down. I'm excited. What's up, new future builders? Welcome to the brand new, spanking new, well, kind of relaunched B3 show. I am your host, your guy, the founder of New Future Builder, Hope y'all are having a wonderful week so far. We're here on a Tuesday, and I am here to do a few simple things to help you, to help us, for us to work together to build a better business, so we can build a better community and build a better life. Hope everybody's doing well. The B3 show, we will be here live each and every Tuesday. Expect plenty of goofiness, expect plenty of talk, expect plenty of me being on a soapbox, expect an opportunity to highlight other business owners, other amazing people, expect for us to highlight some positive news going on in the world, expect a lot of chances to be inspired, motivated to observe yourself, become more aware. Just expect a lot. There can be a bunch of things. I'm excited about this and where we are and where this thing shall go. I have an actual agenda for this time, and I'm so excited to be finally doing this, be back on the saddle, so to speak, away from it's been quiet for a bit. So I'm glad, I'm honored for anybody that's hanging out and holding on, that y'all are here. So as I get into this, if there are any sound problems, things like that, feel free to let me know. Don't bug me to death about it, but just let me know. This thing is a continual work in progress, but I'm also always tweaking, always messing with stuff. I've done a couple of tests, so things are going to keep changing. So there's a bunch of things I'm looking forward to adding in as time goes on, and I'll talk a little bit about that in a bit. So until then, get ready, because again, you can see the agenda we have in the description of the post, or you can simply just take a look here and see the four main things that we're going to touch on in this time. So I just want to make that clear. If you have a question while we're going through this, a comment, I would love to highlight you, love to talk and chat with you. So I'm trying to take a look at the chat here, make sure I can as well, to make sure I'm monitoring there as well. So again, if you're on YouTube, I'm trying to find you, don't worry, I haven't forgotten about you. If you're on Facebook, don't worry, I am trying to hear you as well, till I change some things up so I can see all the chatter all in one time. So hope everybody's doing well. Do me a favor, if this seems like it's cool to you, I need you to do one simple thing. One simple thing for me, it's the currency that I use in order for me to just really take this all in, is to share it. That's it. Share it, tag somebody, or even better, I would greatly appreciate it. So as we get in here, boom, what's going on, everybody? Hey, Mrs. Morgan, thank you for Andre, what's going on, man? All right, y'all. So the first thing, and really the main title of today's episode, right? So I'm just excited. I got episodes, like I've been thinking about content ahead of time, planning, thinking about how I'm excited. This is good stuff. Okay, good stuff. I know it's the first episode. Maybe only one person watch live. That is fine, because there's gonna be plenty of things I'll do with this after the fact, and it'll all snowball on it. So that being said, again, the title of this was The Truth and the Veil, right? The title of this is The Truth and the Veil. That was the title of today's broadcast. And you're asking yourself, like, why the truth and the veil? Like, what does that even mean? And I think as I wanted to start this, again, this is kind of like a relaunch, right? So as I wanted to start this back up, like I want to do it right? So obviously you want to do it right, and one of the things I felt like I needed to do this starting topic, it'd be the key thing, because it's kind of just letting stuff out there. It's a fresh start for me. Content, it's a new year. This is really something that I've decided to dedicate myself back to. So it's a bit of a story, and we'll talk a little about that and what is the B3 part and kind of what this is. But I think it's a great first topic because it really sets the tone for what this is about. And too much of what I've experienced, what I've been a part of, and what I've really in some ways silently participated in is kind of this veil that you get out there in the internet marketing world. And it's the veil that everybody's successful. It's the veil that I make 10 figures and everything is good. It's the veil that I am the 7-figure marketer and you should pay me and blah, blah, blah. Or that, everything is pie in the sky. This works, that works, and it always works. Everything is smiles and it's wonderful. And it does everybody a disservice. And I wanted to create content that was rooted and obviously I want to be positive. So this is not a chance to kind of bash everybody, right? This is not a chance to expose a bunch of folks and point fingers and names. Like, that's not what this is. What it is a chance for there to be another platform where people can be transparent. And in that transparency, be able to actually give you some solid views, solid opinions, solid tips. So you really know where things are coming from. And you understand what those things mean from the core. Again, there's too many folks that say, hey, the strategy works, they don't use it. And I'm going to tell you what, again, this is it's like therapy for me as much for anybody else. It's just a chance for folks to open up. So, like, when I say I'm going to interview folks, I'm going to interview people. That means I'm going to ask them not just questions that set them up to sell a product, but just questions that if they decide to be interviewed, may be uncomfortable. But I feel like you need to hear and we need to all experience, right? So that is what this is going to be. Like, and again, it's a chance to highlight some of the amazing things out there. There's a different veil that, things don't always have to be about money, that there's this veil that some people think that you can't make money with your passion. Other people think that you can. So I just want people to see the possibilities. I want people to see how things really are. I want to lift up that curtain and really give a chance for some of the truth to shine through. Not that folks and everybody is lying. We'll talk about that at the end. But it's just kind of how things are. Now, I'll kind of get this in one of the stories, but it just reminds me. I think it's, and I know my mom's watching, but I'll go ahead and I gotta share my perspective, right? And I think growing up, and this is very representative of something with me, and I think which really captures the field overall. Is I think at some point, I don't remember how old I was, but my mother told me that no matter what mood she was, like, she couldn't stand when people, went to work, had attitudes, couldn't get along with people, that no matter how things were, she would always go to work and always wear a smile. No matter how bad things were, if she was having a bad day, felt bad, tired, whatever, she would always go and wear a smile. And so that always resonated with me. I don't know if I ever told her that, like, it always kind of stuck with me, that she would always try her best to wear a smile. And if she didn't do it at work, she definitely did it with me. Like, it's just, I didn't see the other side of it. She did a very good job of wearing a smile. And I feel like that's very representative of the market as a whole, is that these marketers, these salespeople, these entrepreneurs, through that pitch all these products and things, and again, they've gotten very good at wearing the smile. And instead of it being to their own willpower to be able to push through day by day, which is really what it should be, and instead of it being an opportunity to have a positive role model that shows you how you should emotionally handle things, and instead has become a mask of deceit that doesn't really show the true struggle, right? It doesn't really show the true struggle. And so but it's important to have something that highlights the true struggle. Okay, I feel like that is key. So that is kind of what's rooted in today's episode. So as I get here again, let me make sure that everything is good on. As for my folks over on YouTube, I appreciate y'all for here. Dondre, I agree. Thank you. Ray, thank you for all the hearts. I love it. So, what I want to challenge you to do, today is, and you can do it in a post here or even in the comments, but I would rather you do a post on your own time. Think about it. But in what way have you worn your mask to someone else's detriment, right? Like, just take that chance to be a little more transparent. Like, don't say you got to snitch on anybody, snitch on yourself per se, right? But just be transparent. And for folks, again, maybe you don't have a business, right? Maybe you don't have some high power career, maybe you're just working on yourself. Like, how are you wearing that mask that may be a detriment to the folks around you? Maybe there's a friend that you need to take the mask off, experience those emotions with. Maybe there's your partner, your spouse. Like, again, I am bad. My wife knows. I have the world bothering me, and I'll sit there and I'll say nothing's wrong. I'm okay, and I know I gotta work on that. I know she's watching. I know I gotta work on that. So again, I'm letting it out there, y'all. So it's out. It is out, right? It is out. So how for you are you wearing that mask? Just think about that. And so don't have to put it in the comments here. If you want to, great. But just do a post. Feel free to tag me. I'll give you some cheers, some kudos. I'll definitely be proud of anybody who decides to let people know about it. So I go over here. Don't mind me. I'm just making sure that my folks over in YouTube. And then we'll talk about the next topic, which is what is B3? Now, what is B3? The B3 show. Again, build. My one word is build. Shout out to Evan Carmichael. My one word is build. And I want to help you. I want to help us. I want us to all build a better business, build a better community, and build a better self. B3 is really just, it's partly selfish for me, but I also think that I represent some of you. And so if you tune in, you may be here. I still work a full-time job. So now, again, some folks think they see me and they assume I got this full-time, like 7-figure business thing. No, I've worked with folks, I help with folks, and I assist folks who do make money doing their own thing. But I personally have not figured out that yet. I know the principles, like I know the tasks, I know the tools. I'm good at helping the people who are making the money, but I just haven't figured it out myself. So that better business part is very valid for me. Building a better community has been something I've always wanted to do. So I got 2 key brands right now. New Future Builder was the original brand that I started back on YouTube some years ago. I think it's probably been about 4, maybe 5. It's been a while, right? So I started that channel probably about 4 years ago, I think. If my mind serves me right, and I got away from it. But my original goal for that was to create a platform where we can all work on ourselves. And I always knew, though, that I wanted to do something that was more business minded, that also had a social impact. And so trying to find a way to intersect those things, right? And so I felt like this was it. But I feel like in order for us, right? If you want to start businesses, have high power careers, do the things that we love in life. So again, I don't care whether you want to start a business or you just want to be happier in your day to day. You're in the right place, okay? But what I do say is that all of us have a responsibility to make the world a little bit better. So for folks that are watching this, I don't care what level you're playing on in life, all of us have some responsibility to making the world a better place. And part of doing that is making ourselves better. We make ourselves better, we make our community better, right? We make ourselves better, we make our careers better. We make ourselves better, we make our businesses better. And ultimately, when all those things work, it helps us build a new future for the world. So that's where everything kind of tied in. And I just happened to go on this track where I learned a lot about software. I learned a lot about technology. I learned a lot about marketing strategies. I learned a lot about automation. I tinker with those things all the time. And so that's how I started Automation Mastery. So that's how I have 2 brands somehow. But this is kind of the intersection of those things that I either enjoy doing or I know I've gotten good at. I've gotten very good at training on software. I've gotten very good. Like, again, if I had to give myself one pat on the back, and folks know I'm very humble. Folks that do know me, I'm pretty modest. But the one thing I do know I am good at is if you tell me, Justin, I need you to be trained on a piece of software, I will be able to do it. And not only will I do it, I will try to entertain you while I do it. So that's one of the key things I'm actually. So keep that in mind. I know I'm patting my own back, but that's okay. That's okay. I don't do it very often. So the B3 show and the things that I want to see, and can take these things down because these things will impact you as well. Because right now, some of y'all have businesses, right? Some of you have businesses, some of you have shows, some of you have platforms, some of you have products, some of you have services, okay? And so you're out there trying to get things done. You want to grow your platform. So the things I'm looking for. I want to be able to interview folks. So if you have a business, you have a product, you have a movement, and you have a petition, you got a charity, you got an organization, you got a crazy idea, let me know. I would love to interview you on this channel, on this show, on this platform, and let people know about it. So it's a chance for you to promote yourself. On top of that, some of you want to grow a platform, right? So you want to grow a platform like this. I'm starting from scratch. It's just me. Again, I feel like I'm starting brand new again, right? Not that many people are watching this first episode live. But many of you are experiencing the very same thing. And so what I found, and maybe what you've found and seen, you can only do so much by yourself, right? Again, I'm a big football person. And so I know that imagine if only one play, Tom Brady can't win it by himself. He's good. The Super Bowl showed there was a whole other side of the ball that had to step up in order for them to win, right? Team. You go further as a team. You go further when you collaborate. You go further when you pull together your individual talents and resources and time and power. Again, superpowers, right? You pull those things together and amazing things happen. So if you want to be a part of this platform, perhaps you want to host an episode, right? Again, I'm beyond this being about just me. So if you wanted a segment every week of the B3 show, then fine. We got to talk about it first, but fine, you pretty much got it, right? So just let me know. I would love to speak to you. If you're serious about it, you're gonna be consistent to it, and commit to it. Again, it gives you long-standing opportunities to promote yourself, and again, it gives you exponential opportunity, right? So instead of you just posting content, now you got other people that are also working on a platform together to grow it. We all have our separate audiences. We all got separate resources that we can help pull together and grow this thing. And I think that'll be the best way to success. Just the best way to success. So if any of those things interest you, please let me know. And I would love to have you. I would love to have you. So let's just have that conversation and see whether that is a fit or not. Obviously, if it's not a fit, then it's not a fit. This is, I deserve it. Thank you. The hearts. Yes, thank you. I'm like what do I deserve the hearts for? I don't know. Anyway, so that is what B3 is. Now I'm gonna go here. Boom. As this is doing. So again, this is all about the. Should be good to go. I'm still talking, right? So y'all can still hear me, right? Good. All right, I'm monitoring things again. This is the first heavy use. There's a lot of things going on in the back end of this. I'm working my computer to death. It's actually a really good computer. It's just that I'm doing a lot at one time. Even considering maybe I need another monitor. Somehow I'll make that work. I don't know. No, that pat on the back. Oh, thank you. Thank you. All right, so the next topic I want to get to, next segment, and again, I'm working these out in segments, y'all. I'm getting... I'm excited. It took a lot of time to put this stuff together. It wasn't easy. It wasn't simple to put this stuff together. But the next thing I want to talk about is the topic that the win that was a lie. The win that was a lie. So again, I'm not gonna point out any folks. I'm not gonna name any names. Just again, I know folks out there, and I've heard stories. And not necessarily people that I know. I just hear from people that have big mouths, or I'm just very good at listening. But there's again this perception. And somebody said it really good, and again, I won't name their name. They put it very poignantly. Is we're at this event and watching what was going on, and they said, well, all these people, we really aren't that far away from them. Think about it. We really aren't that far. Like we know enough to be dangerous. They were talking about them and I. We were talking about again, we know enough to be dangerous. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, yeah, I know. I think I know, right? But they're the ones getting all the attention, right? It is what it is. But we know, it's saying like we're right there. We're not that far. All it takes is one good opportunity. All it takes is a little bit of exposure. Maybe just that one thing we haven't figured out yet. But we're close. So I was like, okay. I mean, I get what you're saying, and it made me think of this. It made me think of this concept, right? And I took self-defense. Right, I was taking self-defense, not taking self-defense at the moment. Want to get back into it whenever I can. Whenever that moment comes, I will love when I can return back to the mat. But it just made me think of that and the fact that we always talk in self-defense class. We always talk about boxing whenever there's a match. And when I think about boxing, one of the big things as I think about myself was like how one way to defeat your opponent is just to frustrate them. Right, it's to not let them know the state that you're in. So even if you're in pain, maybe you are pushing through the pain. Again, you're wearing a mask, you're wearing a veil. So I did some research. I found this story. Okay, there's this guy. All right, boom. Okay, there's this guy. I'm gonna show my screen here. All right, so his name is Choi Yo Sam. If I said that wrong, I apologize. With Choi Yo Sam. Boxer, champion boxer. So he had this fight, right? One of his last fight, right? He's this title fight. Up, and he was taking a lot of punches during the fight, but he was dominating. He was still winning that fight, right? He was still winning that fight up until the last round. Up until the last round, he took a bunch of hits in that last round. Like he got knocked around that last round. He got knocked down the last round. Right, just winning the entire fight until that last round got knocked down. Now, he got knocked down, but he got back up. And because he had dominated the rest of that fight, he won. Now, as I would look from the crowd, from the audience, looking at that, right? Looking at that from the audience standpoint. Great, he won, right? He won like it was unanimous. He got the title. Excellent. He is the winner. What really gets you though is he died about a week later. He won the fight, but he died a week later. Now, why did he die? He died because of brain damage. He died because he got punch drunk and because he took too many shots. He looked like he was winning. He even so much looked like he was dominating that fight. He even got as far to actually win on paper. But he died a week later. Did he really win? Did he really win? That's the question you have to ask yourself. Did he really win? Because the other guy, the loser. Now there's the flip side, right? So let me start with the winner. So the winner, right? The winner. He was proclaimed the winner. So many of you see all these marketers that look like they're dominating. So much as to look like they are winning, right? They go down, they get back up. They even are pronounced the best, the top of their class. Supposedly. But they end up dead. At the end of the day, they're really dead. Inside, their bank account may be a little more dead than you think it is. They may not be making as much money as you expect they are. And their products may just not be that great. There's the truth about a lot of these programs. It doesn't speak to that they're bad people. This boxer isn't necessarily a bad person. What it does speak to, though, is that they kept up the facade so long that it was only to their detriment. He got through this fight. He pushed through the fight. But he died in the end. The flip side. Now, that loser of that match was horrible. Like, they felt horrible, I'm sure, at the result. Felt horrible. The loser of that match felt like a complete failure. The loser of that match didn't feel like they stacked up. The loser of that match felt defeated. Didn't feel like they were worthy of attention. But imagine the loser in the end put a person in the ground. They were this close. Some could say that maybe they won. I mean, it's morbid, but maybe they did. They were good enough to put somebody in the dirt. But they were probably this close to winning. This close to getting their victory. This close to being on top. And so, who do you think you're losing to? Who do you compare yourself to who may actually be losing? Who are you comparing yourself to that you're feeling like you're behind, feeling like you're fighting against? Whether it be another business you're competing with, whether it be some product or service that you see out there and you're dreaming that you could get, whether it be a friend in your life that you're comparing yourself to, whether it be that annoying coworker, boss that you're competing with for that position, whether it be that person you see out there that you think has everything, that neighbor that you think has everything. Maybe they really don't. Could be this close. And they may actually not be winning. That's the beauty. Many of you are probably this close. I am probably this close. And all it takes is one chance. And you may be winning a little bit more than you think. That's why I love this story. As morbid as it's been, rest in peace, my friend. I never want to, celebrate off of somebody's passing. But it's a powerful story. And I think it makes a powerful point that we all needed to think about and feel and understand. You're closer than you think. All of you are closer than you think. And if you just, whatever that one thing is that's missing, I can't tell you what that thing is yet. Can't tell you what it is yet. But maybe you need to push a little bit more. Maybe. Maybe you need to get some help. Maybe you need to switch it up. Maybe you need to try something different. Go back to the drawing board. Go back and sharpen your sword. Whatever it is. One thing. Change the whole game. Don't forget, the victory that you see for other folks, it may be a lie. It may not be the truth that you're expecting or looking for. May not. And that brings me to the last topic to close things out for today. And it's the paradox of perception. And the reason that things, and folks that think about it, again, perception is reality. Reality is perception. Okay, and that's what's tough. Because perception can be manipulated. And it is manipulated. Manipulated by marketing firms, manipulated by every company that has a product out there. It's manipulated by media, by entertainment, politics. I don't care what it is. Perception is reality. Unfortunately, the reality is the reality, but the perception can be altered. So therefore, your reality can be altered. And therefore, it can or may not be true. Right now, I give you the perception that I'm in a very decorated room. I have a backdrop up. I got the lighting up, and it looks half decent. That's the perception. And so the reality you're creating in your brain says, this room is really polished, and Justin's stream is nice. That's the perception. Now, the true reality, so that's your reality I've built for you, right? But the true reality is, I'm in a basement that's unfinished due to the fact that it's leaking and it still needs to be waterproofed. There's dirt and dust all over the floor. This sheet I hung up this week. It's going to be wrinkled, as you can see, but behind it there's a bunch of crap. Like, that's the real reality. There's a mess over here on my desk. I got stuff I had to get out of the way of contractors. It's not comfortable. That's the reality. The ceiling's low. Like, if I move this camera anymore, you'll either see the floor or the ceiling. All right? That's the real reality. Perception is reality, but the perception can be altered. The reality can't, but the perception can, and so therefore your reality can. That's the paradox, right? That's the paradox. But that is like the basis of everything that you encounter. Today I was sitting there and I was reaching out to try to get folks to try to get a part of this, and one guy who responded to me, I went and I looked and checked him out. He may see this, and that's fine. I actually want him to see it because I want to see his reaction will be. I found out he's a Trump supporter, right? And again, I'm like, I would love, he's a Trump supporter. I'm not pro-Trump. And again, I'm not going to take this down the huge political rabbit hole. Folks who do talk to me know I'm actually pretty objective and pretty sensible politically. I try to be. But I'm not a Trump supporter. So I had to check myself in that moment because, again, I realized that we live in two different realities. And so our perceptions are different. And so therefore our realities are different. And so I cannot just immediately judge him without first understanding his perception and seeing his reality. So I should maybe still give it a chance. And this is a chance to be self-reflective. This is a chance for y'all to be a little more aware. Hang there with me. I had to check my perception so that way I could understand the reality. I had to check my perception so that way I could understand the reality. I had to check my perception to understand the reality. So many of us don't take the time to check our perception. And unfortunately, that leads to a false reality. It leads to us making bad business decisions. It leads to us making bad decisions as spouses, as friends, as family members, as parents, as human beings, community leaders. The best leaders are very good at checking their own perception, of understanding that other people look at things differently, not because they are bad people, not because they are spiteful, not because they are hateful, not because they are ignorant. We're all ignorant, by the way. But because their perception is different. They're sitting in a different chair, looking at it differently, not of their own accord, but because that is the card the world has served them. So before we judge anybody, before we make any decision, before we are quick to look at things a certain way, we all need to be able to check our perception so that way we can understand the true reality. And that is what I want this show to be about. Checking our perceptions. Whether it be business, again, educating, whether it be community, being more proactive, whether it be ourselves, being more self-aware. It's all rooted in understanding truth. Truth can only be attained if you're willing to check your perception. You can understand your reality. I think that's pretty solid. Y'all agree? Let me know in the comments. Let me know if all that makes sense. I think that's about it. All right, y'all. So that is the official first episode of the B3 show. I'm loving it. Had a great time. Again, I was excited to be back. I'm excited to be back in this chair, back in front of you all, back to streaming, back to recording. There'll be plenty of this content. I'm gonna cut it up, do some things with it. Got a couple of things I'm gonna end off with for today. One's a question. The other one is, again, a reminder of the challenge. Again, the challenge is, how can you take off the veil for a moment in your life? Let people know about it. Be transparent. Have a transparent moment this week. Whether it be publicly here on Facebook, on YouTube, on social media, whether it be in your own personal life, do it. And then let me know that you did it. You don't have to show me what you did. Just let me know that you did it. I want to see everybody do it. Again, it was my transparent moment, right? I want to see and hear about yours. That's one. And then secondly, how I always do, and again, tomorrow's What If Wednesday. So in preparation for tomorrow, I'm going to go ahead and ask my what if now. What if you had to have an uncomfortable conversation with somebody you disagree wholeheartedly? What would that topic be? How can you re-examine it in a constructive way? I know that is a very complex question, or what if. But hear me out. Again, I just talked about how this guy, I was getting ready to judge immediately. Now I'm thinking about how I can turn the fact that we may have different views into something that may be interesting for us to watch, and still do it in a civil manner. Because it could be to my benefit. It could be to his benefit. And so you may be hiding away from an uncomfortable conversation. You may not be willing to easily speak to somebody else because they look at things differently than you. Maybe it's religion. Maybe it's politics. Maybe it's just your views on certain things in life. Economics, finance. I don't care what those things are. But perhaps there's something to be had from having that conversation. Even maybe not with them, but maybe have that conversation with yourself. Examine. Check your perception. You understand the reality. That is the hashtag. That is the term for the week. I appreciate each and every one of you. Do me a favor. Make sure you share this with a friend, family member, or a foe, because they need this information too. I appreciate you and what you do. Each and every one of you are amazing people. I will see you where next week? Here every single Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern time. If I'm not there for some reason, please come save me, come find me and pull me out and throw me on this recording, because I can't miss it. All right, y'all. As I end each and every session, as I end everything, make sure that you treat each day as a building block to a better future. Peace.